So my name is Corey. I have been a coach for a little over 2 years now. It'll be 3 years, believe it or not, come April. And when I first started coaching, I was in a bit of a rough spot in my life, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and especially financially. I always struggled with paying my bills. I'm someone that works a lot. At the time, I was working 55, 60-hour weeks as a full-time nanny. But then on top of that, I was working at a restaurant on the weekends, usually about 20 hours. So I topped out at about an 80-hour work week. And while I was able to pay my bills, I found that I was missing out on some things in my social life. I wasn't putting as much aside in my savings as I would have liked, or my Roth IRA. I had a dream of traveling. I wasn't able to do that. And on top of it all, I was a couple $1,000s in debt.
No.
So when I first started this business, I was very skeptical. I hated the idea of having to put money into anything with an intent of trying to earn money. So that first startup fee, which is significantly lower than any other business out there, the $160, I put that on my credit card, which was already pretty racked up. So it was a bit of a panic for me. I was purely convinced that I would be backing out. I would be returning everything. I wouldn't see success. But if you know me, you know that if I'm going to try something, I'm going to kind of try it with all of my heart and do the best that I can before kind of giving up and giving in. And once I started sharing my story and telling people that this is something that I was doing, it made it even harder to back out, a little bit of a pride thing. So I joined in April, and I really started working my business that August. And that's when I started seeing some change in my income. I had started really sharing my journey online. I started inviting others to join me. I started really making an impact in other people's lives. About a year after I started, I was able to quit working at the restaurant. I was able to earn an income substantial enough to replace my restaurant income, which was about $1,000 a month. Mm-hmm. So about a year in, I was able to retire from the restaurant world, knock on wood, hopefully forever. It's a fantastic income and job opportunity for many people out there, but for me, it is not where my passion lies. So since then, I've been able to pay off my debt. I've been able to start traveling more. I've been to Brazil, Thailand. I've been to Punta Cana, Jamaica, Bahamas. Some of these trips were actually paid in full by Beachbody as a thank you for my hard work. Other trips were just trips that I went on myself, with or without friends, just to explore my love of traveling. And these opportunities, gosh, were almost foreign to me when I first began this business. I didn't know where this business was going to take me. I really didn't even call it a business at the beginning because I wasn't sure what would come of it. And at the time, I was really just looking for some extra accountability. And I figured if I could earn some extra money for gas and groceries, it would be a bonus. And here I am, almost 3 years later, now only working as a nanny, which I love, but I'm able to build this business alongside my full-time job. I'm able to do it on my own time, on my own hours. I've been able to supplement my income, pay off credit card debt, and start traveling. And on top of it all, I've been a part of an incredible community. I've met some of my best friends. Lauren, who already spoke, Amanda, who's going to be speaking shortly, are two of my very best friends who I connected with through this opportunity. Many of the other coaches on this call as well have just become such great friends and have been such an amazing support system for me. And one of my things that I can truly say I've gotten my success from is from my team and the support that I've had from the people on this call and the people that weren't able to join us tonight who have supported me and helped me step by step learn this business from the ground up. And I can't wait to see kind of what this brings. And I'm excited to be able to even have the opportunity to share all of this with you. So I'm going to introduce my success partner. It's a lady that I teamed up with. She's become we call each other East Coast, West Coast twins. She lives out in California, and she just finished up work, and she's making time to talk to us. Here is Amanda Seibert.
Hey guys. Hey. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Amanda, and like Corey said, I just finished work. I'm actually a producer at Fox Sports, and I've always worked in TV. So basically after college, I jumped into the television life, and for those of you that don't know, that's basically 10 to 12-hour days, weekends, you're on call 24/7. And I'm an athlete. I've played soccer since I was about 4 years old. And so I've always been somewhat naturally skinny, and I've always loved fitness. But I moved to New York after college and was working in TV, 10 to 12-hour days, like I said. And in my late 20s, all of a sudden I started to gain quite a bit of weight because my wonderful metabolism slowed down due to age. And I guess you can't drink every night after work and have cheese fries and call that a diet. So I started to run every day, which is what I knew from soccer. And I was like, you know what, I'll sign up for a half marathon and that's going to help me lose weight. And in fact, I gained weight. So I thought because I was running 10 to 12 miles, I deserved pasta every day. So I was just totally confused about how to lose weight and kind of get back to myself. And at that time in New York, just working so much and drinking so much and having a blast, I kind of lost myself a little bit and just became super insecure and kind of depressed, and was just looking for an answer. And one of my friends from high school posted about this home fitness thing she was doing and shakes. And so I signed up immediately. So I started doing it every day. Like I said, I really didn't have much time. So I woke up 30 minutes earlier than I was before, and I did T25, which was 25 minutes. And then I jumped in the shower and started my day. And I noticed not only did I lose 25 pounds that I gained, I lost it, I think, fairly quickly within 3 months. But I noticed that I would handle stress at work so much better. I was just overall more happy. I was more confident. And the fitness affected so many aspects of my life that I was just like, no matter what, I'm doing this forever. The community that I got in touch with, this team that's on the call tonight, like they said, they've become my best friends, and all of that was totally virtual. I posted my journey before I even knew what coaching was. I was just excited that I was working out, so I would do flex pictures and stuff. And then people started asking me what I was doing, how I was losing weight. And that's, I guess, a natural way I became a coach. So I became a coach. And at the time, living in New York City, I would actually work at UGG boot store during winter break or the holiday season because, as you know, New York City is very expensive. So even though I was working in TV, I wasn't making enough to make a living. But I didn't have any free time because of my hours. So I could only work at the boot store as a holiday employee because they'd let me do Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So for 3 months of the year, I'd work 7 days a week, which sucked. And when I stopped doing that, because I could no longer work that schedule, I racked up some credit card debt. And so when the coaching opportunity was presented to me, not only did I like it because it was a natural fit, I was able to start paying off my credit card. And so it was just kind of win-win for me. I truly enjoyed it. And then I was able to pay off my credit card in like 3 months. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
And I know between the three of us, we like virtually all became friends from like doing Beachbody, seeing each other on Facebook and running these challenges together and then going on all of these cool trips, which is just like amazing. But I think that all three of us also have the common theme of liking to live a certain lifestyle and racking up debt. Because I know that all three of us, because of our side gigs with Beachbody, were able to pay off a decent amount of debt because of doing this side gig. And I was actually just watching TV with my mom before jumping on this call and saw a stat that 48% of America can't afford like a $400 emergency if they were to have to come up with it, like for their car or maybe like for a medical bill or something like that. And I know that that was the case for me a few years ago before I started doing this on the side. When you're like living a certain lifestyle or you have a salary and your boss is kind of dictating what your salary is, there's no way to earn more money if you're not an hourly type employee. So I love the fact that all three of us saw the opportunity in turning to coaching and doing something in your free time and really kind of setting your own goals to start this side hustle and make it work for you. So I know a lot of people, depending on if you've chatted extensively, like with the coaches that invited you to this or not, you may have an idea of what coaching is and what these challenge groups are, but I always like to just give a better inside peek as to like what exactly you do as a coach. So Corey, do you want to chat just a little bit about what exactly you do as a coach and how you make it work within your busy schedule?
Absolutely. So the bare minimum example of what a coach does is we ultimately share our journey via social media and with friends and family, and we invite people to get started on their own journey. But when you want to break it down a little bit more than that, we help people goal set. We help people realize what they need to do, to get to where they want to be. Then we get them set up with a plan, whether it's particular workouts, certain nutritional plans, and then we're their accountability partner, and we help them step by step along the way. We get them plugged into incredible online communities like the one that we have for our team, but simply for the people that we're working with. And then we support them and we celebrate with them when they do reach their goals. As someone that works full time, I was really unsure about how I'd be able to fit this into my schedule, but it really was much more seamless than I thought it would be. I definitely do have to put in the work. This was not an overnight fix, but I have found that I'm able to make it work with my crazy schedule, and I don't have to sacrifice, my social life to do it. So, for me as a nanny, I'm blessed with nap time. So nap time has become kind of my business hours, and that's when I work my business. Usually just about an hour a day. Some days I may be blessed with more time to dedicate towards it, and sometimes I, am unable to dedicate any time. But I've been able to find a balance. If I don't have nap time, I can squeeze in a little bit of time before work or after work or on the weekends. But I'm a firm believer that work should not overtake your social life, and you should have an identity outside of what you do for a living. So for me, it's really important that I don't spend my entire weekend building a business. While it's something I'm passionate about, something that I love and has afforded me phenomenal opportunities, this wouldn't have worked for me if I would have had to give all of my free time to it. It would have drained me. I would have burned out. So while I do have to put in that work, I'm able to find a structure and a schedule that works for me and my busy schedule that allows me to, help others to build an income and to really kind of reach my goals. So now I'm not only setting health and fitness goals for myself, but now I'm setting financial goals and I'm setting business goals for myself, and really working towards those backed by a team. So with the support of people, anyone can do this business. It's just about time management and figuring out and finding a groove and a rhythm that works for you.
And I know that you try to find like those power pockets and times when you're nannying and during nap time and things like that. And you're able to work your business from your phone, right? Because you're using social media.
Yes, it's kind of amazing. So while I'm working, I rarely have my computer with me because honestly, I have a baby on my hip or a toddler that pretty much will grab anything out of my hand and throw it across the room. So a computer is not really conducive with my work life. So everything's done from my phone. As long as you have a smartphone with Wi-Fi, you can get this job done. Awesome. It's really about making a plan and sticking to it.
No, I totally agree. Amanda, what do you have to add?
Well, like Corey said about her weekends, like if she spent all of her time building this business, she would go crazy. What I found for me is that after about 7, 8 o'clock at night, I'm completely done. The job I work during the day as a producer is super stressful, so I need to get my stuff done before that. So what I do is kind of pockets of time as well. So I do in the morning before I even get to work, and then I do my lunch hour at work. And then production is kind of long hours, but there's always long gaps waiting for approvals or waiting for graphics or waiting for whatever. And so in that time, I use that to work essentially. So I'm double dipping. I'm working on work time kind of. So as I'm waiting for a graphic, I could be adding 10 new friends or sharing something about my journey, following up with people that have asked me questions. Like I'm blessed, I guess, that I'm a multitasker and that I kind of have like ADD. Like I can't sit still. And so that's actually been a blessing. So if I have time, it's like, I don't want to just go, I don't know, talk to a coworker. It sounds kind of bad, but I'd rather just like work on my business. I'm the queen of list. So I have a list every day. I have like the most minimal things to the most like, I don't know, like big things, and I cross things off every day. So I have that list with me. I take this notebook. My coworkers make fun of me because I literally carry a notebook and pen around everywhere I go. And so I have this list, and literally in those pockets of time when I'm waiting, even for 10 minutes, I just start crossing things off my list. But I mean, back to your kind of original question as a coach, like what do we do? I think for me, it's just been so natural because what I've been told is that I'm kind of like a hyper outgoing girl. So for me, the best part is just I get to cheer my friends and family on their fitness journey. And that comes very naturally to me. So I'm like, oh my God, your jeans fit better. Like they zip up. That's phenomenal. Like you should go buy some. So it just comes naturally.
No, I totally agree. I think it's just, it's like being a cheerleader and being that accountability partner. And so many people think that you have to be at a certain part of like, you have to be at the end of your fitness journey, or you have to be a certain size, or like able to do a Spartan race. And like, I can't even do 10 push-ups, but I'm a Beachbody coach. But I think that just being real and being you and trying to genuinely help people is like what works in this business. Yeah. And I know for me, there are so many different opportunities out there and different multi-level marketing companies out there too. You see people on social media sharing about wine and leggings and skincare and jewelry and other health and fitness companies. But for me, this was such like a natural fit and made so much sense because the products actually worked for me. And it's not like you're selling like clothing or something that's just like on the exterior that someone's focusing on. It's really changing them and changing their habits and making an impact on their life and their health, but that of their family too. So,
and I've heard a lot from the people that I've been working with, which is really great to hear. But I think something that separates us too is that when we sell you something, you know, you might get products, but that's not the end that you'll hear from us. You know, we're here, we're building a relationship with you and we're helping you along the way. So you're not the people that we're helping aren't going to get the materials and then never hear from us again. You know what I mean? We're going to be there to help make sure that they're successful. And that's, I think, what is the most rewarding thing about this job is that we're there start to finish. So we're there when they're struggling, but we're also there when they're doing really well to help celebrate. And I think that's something that kind of sets us apart from other businesses.
I totally agree. And obviously with joining any type of business, there's always going to be certain perks that you can have when you're getting involved with a company. One of the obvious perks with becoming a coach and becoming affiliated with Beachbody and our team is getting a discount on these amazing world-class products that we're using with our health and fitness. But there's also opportunities like Corey and Amanda had mentioned to earn free trips and meet people and get prizes every month and things like that. So I'd love to hear from both of you what you feel like your favorite part about coaching or your favorite perk is about coaching. Amanda?
Go ahead, Amanda.
I definitely think mine is traveling. When I first started the business when I was living in New York City, I didn't have, extra income to even travel, and living away from my family who's in LA, all my holidays or time off was basically spent on like Christmas and weddings. So for the first time in my life, I like took time off of work and like got to go on a trip with you guys who I didn't know at the time, but became my closest friends, and just go and have a good time and kind of be a 20 9-year-old and like drink and have fun. And like, it was really cool to not have to take time off for like an obligation, but for something that was like a reward. And so having it be paid for was super cool, but also just to be surrounded by, I guess, people who live a balanced life. You know, like we all work out and stuff, but I think the cool thing and why we all get along is we also love to eat and drink. So we work out so hard because we like to drink our wine and vodka. And so I don't know. So that makes it fun.
Definitely. Corey, what's your favorite perk or part?
I would definitely agree with the trips. I mean, the trips that they send us on are these incredible trips where everything's paid for. They're putting you up in beautiful, hotel rooms, and the locations are always phenomenal. This past year, the three of us went to Punta Cana along with a bunch of other members from our team. The year before, we went on a cruise to Jamaica and the Bahamas. This coming year, we're all going to Riviera Maya. And these are trips where one thing that this company does so well is that it makes sure that it rewards and recognizes the hard work of everyone that's working alongside the company. So when they send you on these trips, they're not sparing any expense. And there's the conferences that we go on throughout the year, which are so much fun. They're phenomenal. They're so informative. We get to meet the trainers and learn about new products coming out, things like that. These trips are a way for us to just kind of like let loose, celebrate our success and our businesses, and just enjoy each other's company, which is really nice that they don't have to tie that in with a conference. They're able to just give us that and that time to just celebrate what we've accomplished. And it's really invigorating almost. So that's my favorite.
I definitely agree. I have to throw in the little disclaimer that it does take work to earn these trips. But in the beginning, when I had heard about these or seen these trips, I thought that it was only like the top 100 people or so that would get to like earn a free trip to Mexico. And now I've been on like 3 or 4 of them. And it's pretty cool that if you can just get pretty consistent with this side hustle, as in like being able to sell 3 to 4 things a month for 12 months straight, you can earn a free tropical vacation. Like I never got a bonus like that in corporate America for just doing my job. So it's definitely been an extra added perk that I've seen. So we're hitting close to half an hour. If anybody has any questions that's been watching, feel free to type them in the chat box because I can see the chat box. But I think I really just wanted to wrap up last was how to get started and really giving a good idea of how much work it actually takes to be successful in generating an income with a side hustle. I think that a lot of times, especially when it comes to multi-level marketing, you may have friends that have done a side gig like this before, or you may be hesitant into going into it because you're not sure what the time commitment is. You're not sure if it's going to be worth your time or what it actually takes to be successful. So that's what I just wanted the 3 of us to kind of share a little bit more about the amount of time that you're putting in each week, but the return that you're seeing and how your life and your lifestyle has changed as a result of that. And I may start, I'll start and then just kind of bounce it back to you girls. But for me, as I said, I've been doing this for going on 5 years now. And to be honest, for the first 1.5 years or so, I treated this like a hobby business. It was something that I kind of did sporadically. I wasn't very consistent with. And I would earn some money here and there, like maybe $50 here, $50 there. And it wasn't necessarily something that was really helping me pay off debt or make a dent in really paying off that debt or adding into my income. But when I started to actually research this business opportunity and show up every single day for say an hour to an hour and a half a day, my business started to grow. And I started to find other women that understood the opportunity, like Corey and like Amanda. And when you all start to team together and join a team like the crew and the people that are on here, it's really awesome to learn from each other, to goal set from each other, to push each other, and to see this start to take off. Since then, I was able to pay off $8,000 in credit card debt in less than a year. My first full year of working, I was able to bring in an extra $25,000 on top of my full-time income, $50,000 the year after that. And then my income continued to grow that I decided to make this my full-time gig. It wasn't without hard work, but it shows that there is opportunity outside of doing kind of the classic going into a job and having a salary to make money. And especially for me, because I was already on social media and I was scrolling and I was doing things that I was able to really start to take this, show up every day and treat it like a business outside of my full-time career. Corey, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I agree with Lauren. The one thing with any kind of side hustle, regardless of who you're working for, teaming up with, or partnering with, you determine how much you make in this business because it's based off of your work. So if you're only looking to earn extra money so you can get a manicure and a pedicure and not feel guilty about it, then do that. If you want to pay off credit card debt, you can do that. You will have to work harder. You're going to have to put in those hours. Like I said, I work a minimum of an hour a day. I usually shoot for 2 hours a day. Some weeks it's more, some weeks it's less. But I'm also, the goals that I have for this business are pretty big. So I only foresee myself taking on more and more time. But like I said, it doesn't have to be that. You can make it what you want out of it, which is really great. But another thing is when you first get started and you're not really sure what to do, what you should be spending your time on, that's when you're going to fall back on your team. And that's why it's really important to be working with a team that, you respect and that, you're going to form a relationship with, because if you're on the right team, you're going to be surrounded by people that are going to help you along the way, step by step. So you're not going to be thrown into the waters not knowing what you're going to be doing. You're going to have people guiding you and teaching you along the way.
Definitely. Amanda?
Cool. I was just looking at Tico's comment, and I saw what you said, Lauren. When I first started, I hadn't really plugged into the team yet. So I would watch like YouTube videos after YouTube video and just learn on my own. And I actually started doing challenge groups like 2 weeks in on my own. And I just figured out quickly that if I posted one thing a day with like a question, and kind of told everyone that your requirements of this group are to check the group and to respond, basically, that I just started that way. It wasn't the most efficient, but I just I've always, since I started this business, just jumped in and tried something and then adjusted from there. And then luckily through a couple of months, I found this group and kind of started treating this more like an actual business and running groups a little bit more organized. But I've always just been super willing to fail, I guess. I would just try it because what the heck would it, it's mostly my friends and family. So if they make fun of me, I'm over it. But yeah, I think for me in my business, I do about 2 hours a day. I'd say I do an hour in the morning and an hour at lunch, and then little pockets of 5 or 10 minutes here and there. And I just think the biggest thing that I've heard from other people and what I've noticed is consistency is key. So if you're starting off and you can only give 10 minutes a day, but you do 10 minutes every day, and people, they start associating you with this fitness, right? Or with this company, or with helping people. And so I've always been super consistent, even when I had major eye surgeries or I moved across the country or I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. Through all of the challenges that life has thrown at me, I've tried to keep posting, and I was trying to be real too. So if I was going through something really hard, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I got my workout in. It would be more of a somber post, thank God for fitness. It's really helping me get through this hard time. And so I just think if you, share your story organically and are consistent with that, people will come to you. And then when you reach out to them in return, it's not going to be confusing because they already know your story because you're living it basically. But yeah, most of my time is just sharing my story and inviting people.
Definitely agree. It's all about forming those relationships and connections and really being open to sharing your journey with all of this and staying consistent, like you said. Okay, awesome. So we're reaching the end of the time. So thanks so much for joining us. And basically what I want to task you with is, if after listening to this, you think that this is something that you're interested in and that you want to join us with, please reach back out to the coach that invited you. to this call. We're really excited because 2018 is going to be a really big year. We have some awesome new products coming out. 80-Day Obsession's a pretty good workout, I'll tell you. But it's just big health and fitness goals and business goals, and really wanting to have some great energy starting off the year. And December is the perfect time to get ready to ramp up so that you're ready to hit the ground running in January. So if you have any other questions, feel free to talk directly to your coach, or if you were invited into a Facebook event page, you can post the questions in there too. But thanks again for joining us, chatting about the side hustle, and hope everybody has a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye.